Coins are mooning, and we almost hit all-time high. Now all we need is a celebrity to start endorsing Bitcoin to really bring on a crash. Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea, hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's pianomattyb. That is Scaramucci's. This is your morning TA. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets where the sun's shining, where the winds blow. All the humble opinion of this piano Zamboni bringing the The FOMO index has jumped up to 90 from yesterday's 82. Bitcoin dominance is 52.4%. 24-hour volume, 193 billion. The overall market cap, 2.5 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, it was a good run. We all had fun. Then Daddy fell into the pond. After ripping on Sunday night, price action kept climbing all day long. Yesterday, almost eclipsing the all-time high. Picking out at 68.8. Then who and the what now? Down, finding a bottom and a bounce at 64.9, which is also the 50% fib, and has rallied somewhat back to a time of production, 67K. One of our levels of resistance we talked about yesterday. Now the air is thin up here till we cross all-time highs, and only spending roughly a week at these levels in all of Bitcoin's histoire. She's pretty much touch and go, having gotten a bounce from the 50% fib. It wouldn't surprise me to see a full retest of our support levels at 64K, which is also the goldenest of golden ratios, the 61.8% fib. But the pullbacks don't really feel like corrections, do they? They feel more like knee-jerk reactions to market conditions. Coinbase goes down, the market shudders in terror, and price follows. We all know in our Bitcoin heart of hearts that pullbacks in bull markets are far more violent than just a 5% dipsy doodle. My heartbreakingly optimistic outlook for today would be for price action to pick up the ball, start running up the field, taking another shot at all-time highs, busting through 69K. Now over on the ding-dong. You can see the 5% dip carnage has manifested itself so far with a cute little hammer candle, which signals a high probability of continued upward action. This wick signifies the bear's weakness and inability to keep the price down, and our support level here is also down at 64K, so there's double word bearish kudos at that level, but shit doesn't seem so crazy. Zoomed out on the ding-dong, going back all the way to December, there are little to no wicks on these candles, and the last real dip of any notoriety was back on January 3rd. So it's nothing but buyback bull oompapa every time the price dips a little. Bullish outlooks are simply taking out the all-time highs at 69K. Quick look at the Wookiee. Sees we have essentially carved out the cup of a potential cup and handle pattern, which is the good news. However, the bad news is that in order to fully express this pattern, we do need the handle, which would mean a significant correction down. And by significant, I would probably put it at about 54.4-ish with a side order consolidation before heading back up. Now, that's not what I want, but it's how these things historically play out. But back to the good news, and that's the price probability of this pattern is, and sing it with me now. Oh, you take the pole, you slide it all, the breakout point, and then we're all at 117K-ish. Would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth, a day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days, yet we're lucky enough to have them anyway. So get out there and knock 'em dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected leads. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee. Join me for a quick one, and by all means, sing it with me now. I'll run the banks of boom to spang, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, whoa. Ching. Are we even capable of pullbacks? Do pullbacks even happen? What's going on here with this price ticker? There we go. 67.6. Well, I guess that is a pullback of sorts, but I mean, we are expecting a little bit of pushback at the all-time high. It would have been extraordinarily unique if we were to just cruise through all-time high. Now, we will eventually cruise through all-time high. But the first time, it makes me think that there is a natural aspect to the way this market works, although you wouldn't think so in the past thing. Scotty Mo, 100 people watching, only 40 likes. I guess only 40 people liked it, Scotty Mo. If you forgot to like, give it a like so YouTube doesn't kill it. YouTube loves to kill crypto these days. If it doesn't reach a certain thing, cut it. Yeah, so we almost hit 69K. I was now tell me if you were doing the exact same thing, because yesterday I was at a squash tournament. This week's the Manitoba Open. So it's a pretty big deal in the squash circle, but the squash circle isn't that big a deal in the greater circles of life. However, I was reffing a game because you play and then you ref. And so I was reffing. I'm like, oh my God, I can't just be reffing a game while it goes over all-time high. So I pick up my phone and I open up the charts. And I totally screw up the reffing because I can't, it's like at 68.3 and like I can't keep track. I have a little app that kind of does what you're just supposed to hit the button when someone gets a point. And I was screwing up, and then they call, in squash, there's something called a stroke or a lead. It's like hindrance if that makes sense. So if you hit the ball back at yourself and the guy can't hit it, it's called, you basically give them the point. It's called a stroke. And so I heard them call stroke, and I wasn't watching because I was watching the charts. What do you expect? What do you expect? Going through all-time highs. I'm going to be watching the charts over this game that I don't really want to ref. Holy smokes. So yes. And then when I got home, I was cooking up a juicy ribeye, and just the charts are open. I'm just watching the price, and it just didn't quite get there. So that's what happens. We get some pushback. Charts are better than roughing. That's right. And the poor guys, see, like Sneaky Pete, you ref from up top, so there's a little window there that you look down. And so these, every time I heard stroke or let, please, I'd look down and I'd see them looking up at me, and I have my phone with the charts, right? I'm like, let, because this is where it can get pretty heated. Lets or strokes, right? Because a stroke is a point, and if you can really sway a game. And I basically it was lucky for me. The two guys were very kind of playing, reffing themselves, which you should do. It's not like it's pros, right? So it's level B. So how it goes is E, entry, D, C, B, A, and then pro. So it's B. It's 2 levels below pro. So Jason, what did Jason say? Jason Murad, best TA, love your work, bro. Are you? I don't recognize you, James. Are you? Is a long time lurker, first time commenter? That's all good too. Thank you for the compliment. Sneaky Pete vaporizers. They shouldn't have known better than to trust you in this chart environment. I know, but that's the thing. This is why we're still so early. Sneaky Pete, is that they don't really know yet. None of them know. We're having a little bit of a pullback now, 67.4. They don't really know that it's going on, and I don't expect them to, because really retail hasn't aped in yet. We're still just institutionally FOMOing in. So, James, long time, right? Well, welcome, James. Thanks for the compliment. We'll all know when more of these people are like looking at the charts or asking me about the price of Bitcoin, but they haven't really been doing that. And even the financial advisor that I asked, I remember I told the story a couple of months ago. I said, can you ask your sales guy if they're pushing the ETF? And I asked them about a week ago. It's like, so how about that ETF? And the first time I brought it up to him, he said, what ETF, right? This was like 2 months ago. And when I brought it up to him again, I was like, how about that ETF? He's like, what ETF? I'm like, damn it. That's just a signal that they're even like they're in the business financial. Are they in the business? I don't know. Welcome, Rob. Greetings from UK. Longtime lurker too. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Do they really work in the financial business? Like I know some advisors that work for banks, and now they laugh. And this is where it gets gross. They laugh because they say their job is so easy because they don't even pick stocks. Essentially, it's almost like a centralized version of gambling where they all get these marching orders on, let's call it Monday. We're all buying Bank of America stock. And it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy because they have all these institutions and all these salespeople picking the thing that they're going to buy that day, right? So there's just it's going to have an influence on the market. It's going to go up. Whether it's going to pump it, I don't know, but it's definitely going to have an effect. So and what's even worse about them is win or lose. They get their money out. It's like it's a brilliant job, actually. Win or lose, you get your money. This is why I'm not a big fan of professional sports, is because win or lose, they still get their money. I want some financial repercussions for poor performance, because just like you guys, just like me, if I have a poor performance at whatever I'm doing, I get financially penalized by whether it's, I lose a gig or job, whatever you want to call it. So it's when I watch people trip into success without any financial repercussions, I don't think it's right. I don't think that's a free market, right? I don't think that's how the free market corrects itself. If all these financial advisors can just simultaneously pick winners, and they're not really winners, they're just big blue chips, right? And then everyone kind of buys them, and then they're the poor pensions and the poor people that phone them once a year. What's up with my portfolio? Well, we all not we all. Well, we're going into some banks, some safe dividend plays here. Dickie Twiddle, I was just thinking, I haven't missed a single day since your first show on your own. That is crazy. Dickie Twiddle. I remember when your name wasn't Dickie Twiddle. What was it again? That was right when we started doing the live stream outside on the patio, which is just a few months away. But I don't know if I'm going to go back to the patio. I kind of like the ability to hit the charts and do some extra things as well. Now, speaking of the charts, maybe we should take a look at that. This cup and handle. Now, before everyone gets a little bit irate about the possible pullback for this to play out, Richard Twitty, that's right. I can never get it right. Dicky Twiddle has a nice little ring to it. Dicky Twiddle used to be Richard Tweedy, but doesn't it sound better as Dicky Twiddle? You have to agree. Twiggy Twiddle, yeah. So this one, let's put the cup in here so we all get what we're talking about here. It's a classic cup and handle. The only thing is that we haven't built out the handle yet, right? So let's draw that out here. I don't have the magic of the downturn to 54.4. Ouch! Ooh, gross! The 50s. Oh, that's disgusting. And then of course we come up again, and then blast off to 117-ish. Now, the hard part about these weekly patterns is that, man, they're so slow. They're like those oil freighters in the ocean. You know, they're efficient. They get where they're going to go, but they just take so long. And now, in order for this cup and handle to play out, now does a cup and handle actually need the handle? No, I guess not. I mean, every pattern has its own play out, but just historically, we do see a little bit of a pullback. And then I'm just guessing that it'd be 54.4. I haven't checked this. Let's check it live. Let's see if this has any decent Fibonacci's. Bruce, I think you were talking about learning more about Fibonacci's. Extend it out. Look at that. It's right above the 32.2. My favorite fib. Now this 61.8, 42, the goldenest of golden ratios, right? We're back into that consolidation zone. I don't know if that happened. I honestly don't. And I know I'm delusionally bullish, but I just can't see. What would have to happen is that all the selling pressure, all the buying pressure would have to just be gone. So between now, this is why it's improbable for me, but you know, the market can stay irrational longer than we can stay solvent. This is why I can see it not happening. Is that between now and the halving, and then the parabolic rise up, we would have to see all the ETFs just stop buying and no retail coming in. Now, what's the probability of that happening? I think it's very low. So let's take a scenario where the ETFs stop buying. Well, at that point, the price might have pierced the intellectual bubble of the newbie normie retailers, and then they start aping in. So we have them to cover up what the ETFs. But I honestly think that you won't. YouTube loves to kill crypto content, but they don't seem to kill the AI generated 2-for-1 coin scam. Yeah, isn't that hilarious? They can copy Michael Saylor's speeches and run scams for 24 hours or 12 hours, and they won't cut them, but they'll kill this if it doesn't get enough likes. Did we get over 100? There we go. 97. It's almost 100. We'll call it 100. This is why I can't see that pullback, but again, this is the beauty of a bull market and the psychology of an investor. We start thinking that it can only go one way, right? Why are we so convinced now that it can only go this way? For a long time, call it 18 months, we were pretty convinced that it was never going up. And even when it did go up, we thought, this is a fake rally. And it turns out it was. And now that it's going up, I feel personally, and tell me if you feel this as well, I feel like it can't go down. But just saying that is indicative of where we are. Now, we, the boutique community, myself, we're in a different advanced frenzy, I think. So we have been in this for so long that the advanced frenzy is like where retail will be in a year, if that makes sense. We understand that things are getting crazy, and then we're starting to feel not the FOMO, because we already got our position. We're on the rocket ship now just fasten your seatbelts and look out the window, enjoy the ride because we're on the rocket ship up. But it's that mentality that it can never do the opposite of what I'm thinking. That's what happens when we get so bullish. This is the super cycle that people have been talking about since 2012, 2013. See, yeah, El Loco Diablo. That's one of the things that I also subscribe to, but intellectually, I almost know that that's a fallacy to accept. Now, I know I'm going back and forth, but I just know the psychology of traders and how once we get bullish, we feel like it can no longer reverse on us. Like you hear it now because so here we are in our own FOMO frenzy of sorts. Not really FOMO because our bags are packed, but we're already talking about super cycles. It never going down, it never correcting back to 70%, diminished upside, diminished downside. We're talking about that already. And this happens every cycle. We start saying, well, we're not gonna have the same retracement as last time. And I actually feel that as we move forward, I feel that more. Oh, Gary Gensler, look at that. How dare he come and ruin this live stream. Yeah, you get away there, Gary. Thank you. I feel it now that we're actually going there. Like we're believing that it will never retrace. And I can actually convince myself that it's not going to retrace because this is what I say. Well, the institutional investors, the boomers, the mom pops that reluctantly got into Bitcoin would never be able to handle a 70% downturn. So a 70% downturn for us is like, yeah, it's about right. 70%. Yeah, it's about time for a 70% downturn. Now, if you've never experienced a 70% downturn, save for some ridiculous speculative penny stock that you got into because a buddy told you at a bar, these people are middle of the road investors. So when they get into the ETF, they can't handle seeing a 70%. So obviously these ETF and these hedge funds know that their clients can't handle that. So can they prevent that downturn? I don't know. Sometimes I actually think, and this is what I have, a knee-jerk reaction to positivity and negativity. Every time I'm feeling bullish, I always question, well, what am I missing? Or every time I'm feeling bearish, okay, well, what am I missing? And sometimes when I'm feeling this bullish, I think, what am I missing? It's the concept of, are we going up or is everything going to shit? Like that concept of melting up, right? The crash up boom or whatever it's called. Is the value of currency just going down? Therefore, we're going up. Where all the stocks cracking up because everything else is going down. This generally happens before a major correction in the stock market as well. Now, the big question would be, if we see a major correction in the stock market, will Bitcoin be affected the way it traditionally is? Or is Bitcoin so far out of the financial stratosphere that it could care less? It's like, oh, the stocks are crashing. Perfect. Hop on. We got a one-way ticket here to the moon. Who knows? So where are we at now? 67.3. So we've had a substantial, when I say substantial pullback, it's not even a substantial pullback. We weren't here yesterday. Remember yesterday we said possible levels of resistance are 66. So we were below 66. Hey, buddy. And then the next one was 67. And here we are at 67. And we talked about this. All right, buddy. How you doing today?
Good. Meh. What's 60Ks when it's going past 100K?
I agree. I couldn't agree more, my boy. So today is your first tournament game in a squash tournament. Are you nervous?
No.
Nah. Good. What's the most important thing you think about this the squash game tonight?
That I'm gonna win.
Yeah, I like that attitude. Let's sing them out, buddy. Let's do some shoutouts. Das Peach.
Das Beats.
Misco.
Misco.
Scotty Mo.
Scotty Mo.
And Johnny December.
Johnny December.
Oh, Ava Angel's back.
Ava Angel.
Swashbuckling Scallywag.
Swashbuckling Scallywag.
Bruce Mai.
Bruce Mai.
Sneaky Pete Vaporizers.
Bruce Sneak Pee-Pee Vaporizer.
Dave Digital, the GOAT.
Dave Digital.
Captain Swanky Pants.
Pants.
Jimmy Coulter.
Jimmy Coulter.
And finally, David Sony Music.
David Sony Music.
Oh, how about Terry Crow? Can't
Terry
forget about our
Crow.
buddy in Kansas there. Sing us up, my boy!
We're playing the same game as I go back to collect the leads. That's why it's so long game. Does it remote and have a fantastic day? Run the banks, the boom, the spank, Bitcoin, crypto, mon, and CA.
Nice, buddy. Bearish or bullish?
Boys.
Bullish. Perfect. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Will we crack 69K? Who's to say?